Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Industry Insider. I'm Dan McCarthy with Travel Market Report today. I have with me Mike Drevers, the CEO and founder of Branch Up. Mike, thank you again for coming back to the program. We always really appreciate having you.
Hey Dan, thanks very much. It's always a pleasure being here in this fast and curious moving world that we're living in with technology and the travel industry.
Yeah, and I know we've spoken a lot about social media before, about a lot of other things that Branch Up sort of has its hands into. And a couple weeks ago, you pitched me a topic that I was really interested in talking about, and that was interest media. I know that's a term that's used a lot in your line of work, but maybe it's a term travel advisors maybe aren't super aware of, and one they should probably be super aware of. I was hoping you could sort of start us off today by just sort of defining that term for us and placing its relevance in the hands of travel advisors as well.
Sure, I'd love to. Like everything, we've been building technology in this industry from the early 20s, and so many things have changed. There wasn't any email, there wasn't any internet, there wasn't any social media. But things are evolving as technology improves, and becomes faster. Now we've got AI. Now, there's a lot of moving parts, but it's all kind of sequential. So, interest media, it's a term probably not too many people have heard, but you're going to hear it, just like you'd never heard what social media was. You never heard what the internet was until you know what it is. So nothing to be afraid of there. But what's happened, it's really all about algorithms. And algorithms, all they are, for those of you who may not know what they are, it's just a way a computer processes. It's kind of behind the scenes, and all social media companies use algorithms to kind of track what you're doing. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you share? Did you watch a video over and over again? So what's happened when social media, the true social media started, was that we all put our friends and family in a Facebook database, and we posted our pictures, and really started with the kids, and then grandparents and parents found out, hey, this is a good way to communicate with my kids, and of course they left and went to Instagram. The younger ones, not the people who buy travel, are all on Facebook. So, anyways, what it's changed over time, where we used to see content, what our friends socially posted, and what's happened. Social media companies make money by getting more people and serving more and getting people hooked and staying 2.5 hours on Facebook instead of an hour, those types of things. So the algorithms have changed where they start tracking people's interests. So if you watch a certain video 2 or 3 times, they're going to keep track, hey, you like that, you're interested in that topic. And basically what's happened over time is that they've shifted from where we just see our friends and families' content to we start seeing other people's content that matches our interests. And this is interest media.
Yeah, I mean, just hearing you speak about that, Mike, I know everyone has experienced that in their own usage of whatever social media platform they operate in. I know it's not something that's secret about any of these social media platforms, but I'm curious, how is this changing consumer behavior, and how is this changing how travel advisors should start thinking about their own social media? Because it seems like there's a lot of opportunity out there to sort of be that interest in interest media, but there's also a lot of opportunity to be lost if you're not sort of scoring highly in whatever algorithm these social media companies are grading you on.
Yeah, well, the more you post a variety of content, the bigger chance you have to attract interest. And that's really where it comes in. So, because they're not just serving content to your friends and family anymore. So, a lot of travel advisors like to create their content. And a lot of people think if I post 3 or 4 or 5 things a day, that's too much. It's actually too little, because not everybody sees it. These algorithms are picking up what do they like. So, travel advisors now are being faced with, am I going to be a content creator, or am I going to outsource my content creation to a company who's working with suppliers and creating a lot of content that might match your friends and family and beyond those friends and family's interests? So, for example, one of the biggest, we track everything. When we post, say, something on Northern Lights, all of our travel advisors basically inboxes light up because there's a lot of people who want to learn about the Northern Lights. And basically, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do with social media, interest media, etc., is to get your friends and family and beyond that to reach out to you. So, if somebody's really interested in the Caribbean cruise, then that product's happening. And we get, a lot of people would say to us, well, I don't want to post that. Well, why? Because that's what might be somebody's interest who will reach out to you. Our job as travel advisors is to sell, engage with the customer, get them to start talking with us. So this is where, you can't post enough content anymore. And this is where companies like BranchUp come in because we work with all of our suppliers, and we're also, creating content that is not attached to a supplier that will gain somebody reaching out to you because you touched on their interest.
If you're a travel advisor and you're working full time and you're servicing clients, if you want social media to be a audience or a client generation channel for you, you're going to have to be able to dig into interest media more than anything. You're going to be have to get out of your friends and family, and the only way you can do that is by posting more often, by posting quality content, by being in the places that these algorithms are.
Yeah, the only thing I would change in that comment is not get out of social media. Social media is alive and well, and continue to grow your database, because if somebody in your social media CRM, so to speak, likes something and shares it with their database, well, you're growing. So it's not get out of social media. Social media is here to stay. It's like get out of email. No, don't get out of email. Email works extremely well. Television works well still, newspaper still, but it's all about ROI. What it really is embrace it, understand what it is, but make sure you partner with somebody who's creating additional content for you and studying what's working, what's not on your behalf, in addition to doing yourself. We're not ever saying, hey, don't do anything. No, do it, but have somebody else behind the scenes working with you that's making sure you're relevant on an ongoing basis.
I want to ask you sort of like I know this term is being introduced to a lot of advisors through this conversation, through the op-ed you wrote, or they're seeing this term for the first time, like you mentioned in the beginning of the conversation. Aside from informing themselves about what interest media is, like, is there a step one? Is there a first thing travel advisors can do to start figuring out how interest media plays into their own business, or figuring out how they can take full advantage and be successful in sort of what's become a new challenge for them?
Well, kind of comes back to the thing, let the intelligent automation do it for you. Through companies like BranchUp or anybody else who are doing things like that. I know that sounds self-serving, but that is kind of the reality. If you're not in this space now and you're not working with companies that are primarily focused on technology and building tools that are specifically designed for a travel advisor, whether you're an independent contractor, full-time, or host agency owner, I'd suggest that that's kind of where you start. Start figuring out, who's doing what, who can you trust, and who knows what they're doing to help build tools that you're going to need. They say the same, am I going to lose my job to AI? No, no one's going to lose their job to AI. What they might do is lose some business to somebody who's using AI tools. You just need to become familiar with it. Don't be afraid. You got to trust somebody.
So before I let you go, Mike, I just want to ask, I know a lot of my readers and a lot of the audience here at TMR is familiar with BranchUp, but is there anything new, or is there anything exciting that you want to make sure they're aware of as we head into the second half of 25?
Closed User Group is here to stay, and we're pretty excited about a project that we've been working on for about 7 years. And we're going to be launching what's called the Travel Advisor Club, which will help travel advisors get access to rates that only travel advisors are available to them. But through technology, we'll be able to make these special packages and programs and whatnot available to their customers as well.
All right. Well, Mike, it's always incredibly informative speaking with you and enlightening. So, I really appreciate the time. I'm excited and interested to see how how this category of media evolves over the next few months and years. So, I'm sure we'll be in touch with each other soon about it too.
Thanks, Dan. I'm sure interest media is going to be just like top of mind, like everybody else, like social media.
All right. All right. Take care.